Brick Legends is going to rank every single Ninjago episode on the face of the planet. If you don't know who Brick Legends is, he's a dude who does Ninjago mocks. He's a pretty big Ninjago fan, and he has some spicy opinions about Ninjago. Let's get into it. In the number 20 spot, which is the worst spot, we have Day of the Departed. And the problem is here, I shouldn't have gone back and watched it, because the first time I watched it, I liked it. Then, a couple months ago, I went back and watched it, and it was pretty disastrous. The good, the villains that they brought back are cool. Cole being the main ninja is awesome. That's all the good. The bad, the choreography, the fights are very slow-paced and boring. The animation isn't great. It's just a very small, condensed story, thank goodness. If it was longer, that'd be bad. There's one part where Cole is fighting a bunch of ghosts in the attic of the Temple of Verjitsu, and it's so slow. It takes so long. It's just, I can't speak. I can't talk about it. We're moving on. In the 19th spot, we have Hands of Time, and it had some potential. The cool things about this are the time blades. Some of the coolest weapons, honestly. Vermilion are like really creepy, kind of disgusting, cool concept. You got the Samurai X. It's got some good stuff to it. Like the ideas are cool. I don't know. The writing is bad. The animation is bad. If everyone who made Sons of Garmadon made Hands of Time, like worked on Hands of Time, imagine how cool it would be if they put as much money into Sons of Garmadon as they put into Hands of Time. Dude, Hands of Time could be so good. I literally forgot that Kai's parents come back. Acronox and Acronix, or Acronix and Crux. Acronix and Crux. It's Acronix and Crux. They do way too much talking and not enough fighting. Oh, and Decrepit Old Master Wu is so hard to watch. In the number 18 spot, we have the pilot season. This is a 2 episode, so it's like 45 minutes of the very first Ninjago. Don't know what was up with the animation of the hands, but it was kind of strange. Like, it lays the groundwork for all of the rest of Ninjago. You got the 4 main ninja, you got Sensei Wu, you got the golden weapons. What more do you need? You got skeletons. It's very generic, and maybe too generic. But it worked. Like, you have to start somewhere, and this is a good starting spot. It's not spectacular. The final battle is like, oh, okay, the 4-armed skeleton, like, disappears. Garmadon goes into a portal. Oh, that's awesome. Not really, but it's a fun season. I love the skeleton army. In the number 17 spot, we have Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu. The first time I watched it, I really liked it. And then watching it over again, you remember how many filler episodes they actually put into this. You remember how slow it took to get into the rhythm of the story. Once they get to the Pyro Pyramid, it's really cool. Like, escaping the Pyro Pyramid, going through, trying to like dodge all the traps. It's really fun. Esphira is not the greatest villain, and the second chapter is better. The 16th spot, we have The Island, which is another 45-minute long series, and it's kind of fun. It's a fun adventure story. You've got the ninja going to an island, and it's jungly. The first couple episodes are really fun. It kind of peters out at the end, though. You have, what's his name, Ronin, as the main villain. It's kind of, okay, blah. And it didn't have high stakes. It didn't have, like, big payoff. It was just an okay season. But it did have build-up for Cbound, which you will see where I put that on the list. In the 15th spot, we have the Ice chapter from Forbidden Spinjitzu. And this is definitely a step up from the Fire chapter. I'll talk about the good stuff first. You've got an amazing soundtrack. The score for this is beautiful. The whole entire realm is really a fun location. The plot twist where Zane was the Ice Jumper got me. I don't know if I'm stupid, but it got me. I just watched this stuff and have fun watching it, and I was not expecting that. The final battle is a little on the weaker side. There's no like big spectacle or anything. Some episodes drag a little bit too long because you've got some filler episodes in there mainly. Overall, pretty good season. In the 14th spot, we have Legacy of the Green Ninja, Lloyd. The first half of the season is boring because it's filler. Like, you have the mega weapon stuff, but it doesn't change everything. Like, every episode has the same structure. and maybe like you have some character development with like Lloyd or some of the other ninja in there sprinkled in, but it's not like impactful. Really, there's some fun episodes. I remember as a kid, I loved the racing one. Whatever the racing one was, I loved it. Once you get to the Dark Island, things actually pick up and they're actually decently good episodes. Like when they go to the Dark Island, for example, and they go to the Temple of Light and they have to go straight up the mountain in Kai's fire mech, that's awesome. And then the final battle is fantastic finale for the season. That season would be much higher on the list if it weren't for like those first 5 episodes or whatever this season that really are boring. In the number 13 spot, we have Skybound. One of the coolest villains, Nauticon. He's so cool. I mean, he's got 4 arms and he's got like a ghost tail and he's a genie. He can grant you wishes. And the concept of steampunk pirates is so awesome. The villains here are some of the best, I think. Jay, as a lead character, great to see that. The finale is okay. It's sad. I didn't mind it at all. But what's holding the season back, I never like when they keep getting rid of Ninja and they keep making the team smaller and smaller. I mean, it raises the stakes, but at the end you had Jay and Nia. And it was a little like, okay, well, Zane's my favorite ninja, but he's been gone for like 4 or 5 episodes. It just didn't stand out to me in the way that other seasons stood out to me. Number 12 spot, we have season 12, Prime Empire. And why do I have this above Skybound? The setting is really fun. Going into a video game is just a fun concept. I love the episode when they just get into the video game and they have to like learn how everything works. It's not top tier. It still has the same problem as Skybound. They start getting rid of characters, and the further on you go, the less characters or main characters you have, and you end up with Jay. It's another Jay season. But I think it's a little bit better than Skybound. The villain's not as cool as Nauticon. The one thing I do not like about it is that Zane does literally nothing except talk in like a detective voice, and it's kind of dumb. In the 11th spot, we have March of the Oni, and I'll talk about the good first. This season is kind of a creepy, scary season. I mean, the Oni infect people and turn them into stone, going all throughout Ninjago City. It's awesome when Lloyd and Garmadon go down to Ninjago City into like the basement of Borg Tower. That's so creepy, so sinister, and so cool at the same time. And when Cole falls off the ladder, it's sad. It is sad. Even though you know, oh, he's literally gonna come back in the next episode, it's still sad. The ending is a little mediocre. I mean, I wouldn't change anything about the ending, but it's just not the best ending. Like, you can't have amazing endings every time. They made the tornado creation and they defeated the bad guys. Okay, I mean, that's not very fun to watch. Like them all spinning together. I feel like the ending for Hunted was much better, and that's in the number 10 spot. Hunted. What did I love about this season? For starters, you take the ninja from like these mega heroes of Ninjago and you take them down to like the lowest they've been. Lloyd and Nia think their friends all died. They're stranded in Ninjago City, and Garmadon and Harumi are taking over the place. The other ninja are in a new land that they've never been before. They have to escape the dragon hunters, find the dragon armor to get back to Ninjago. Both sides of the story, they kind of have the same feel. I do like the Ninjago City stuff more just because there's more tension there. The dragon hunter guys are kind of cool. The main Iron Baron guy is not the best villain by any means. He's very forgettable. And the finale is fantastic when you see the dragons coming through the portals, destroying the Sons of Garmadon. In the number 9 spot is crystallized. The word I can use to describe this season is epic. Like it just is. It's epic. You have all the villains returning, all the ninja and ninja side characters returning. Everyone comes back, and it's really cool to see them all there. Like, some of the episodes are so good. You have the fight for the monastery, which is like Sensei Wu's best fighting yet. The older he gets, the better he gets at fighting. When I think of crystallized, though, I don't think of the first half. I always think of the last half. So maybe that's kind of where the bad starts to come in. You've got the first bit of crystallized, like the first couple episodes when they're bringing Nia back, hijacking the security truck. Those are really cool episodes. Then they get to prison and it slows down so much, and you're just kind of walking through the desert with Fuji Dove. It kind of is boring. And then it picks up, the Overlord comes to power, and then once you get to Ninjago City at the end, the final battle, that's all really cool again. In the number 8 spot, we have Ninjago Dragons Rising Part 1. Why is this higher than Crystallized? Crystallized didn't feel fresh. They were redoing all the stuff that they had done before, bringing back the Overlord. This was a fresh start for Ninjago. And they did it in a really good way by incorporating the merge into the whole entire story, where the 16 realms come together. You have endless possibilities now. You've got the Imperiums, you've got Eren and Sora, great characters. I think Lloyd is a great mentor. It feels a little bit more episodic than some of the other seasons. And they went to 22-minute episodes, which is so much better than 10-minute episodes, because now you can really pick out the episodes. My favorite episode from this season is when they go to Cloud Kingdom. It's such a cool episode. Once you get to Imperium, it's fun, but it kind of lasts too long. I feel like they could have trimmed up a whole entire episode there. And the final battle is definitely not super huge in scale. It's a great season, and I'm super excited to see where they're going with Dragons Rising Part 2. In 7th spot, we have the OG Season 1. To start out with the good, you have the Great Devourer, one of the coolest creatures in Ninjago, which I may or may not be building a mock of. The 4 ninjas have character arcs where they get their true potential. You've got a great team of villains with the different tribes of snakes. Each one is a little different. The story is episodic, yet every single time you get to a new episode, the story progresses a little bit. Yeah, the final episode is one of the better finales in Ninjago. It can get a little slow at times. The animation doesn't compare to some of the newer Ninjago. The fight scenes are a little harder to watch, but this season does have Pink Zane. In the 6th spot, you have Season 4 Tournament of Elements. Now, to start with the good, this season has so much world building. You've got the Elemental Masters, such a cool concept. You've got Master Chen, such an evil, twisted villain. You've got the island that they're going to, one kind of location that they're at. When they're at the island, I love this season. When they go away from the island, I don't like this season quite as much. The first couple episodes where they're doing the tournaments with the different Elemental Masters are some of the best episodes in Ninjago. As the story progresses, kind of goes downhill a little bit, and then the final battle is just a little anticlimactic for me, but it's still a great season, and how they brought back Zane was really awesome. Master of the Mountain. They're on this one mountain the whole entire season, and yet there's so much storytelling. They don't have to be going all over Ninjago to different locations. They can be at one location. I feel like they need to do that more with Ninjago. The Skull Sorcerer is a very threatening villain, and it starts building up this Vengestone storyline. My favorite part is definitely Cole. Like, he's the standout here. You know, he learns more about his mom. He is able to unleash his Spinjitzu Burst, which is awesome. The final battle for this, so next level, the Griefbringer Dragon is each ninja kind of has their time to shine though. The villain is a little too generic. The villain army is just skeletons, but they're not unique skeletons. They're all exactly the same. The Munson Geckos can be fun. They can get a little annoying. In the number 4 spot, we have Possession. And this feels kind of like Skybound. It's kind of a complex story, globe-trotting Ninjago, but they do it in a much better way, I feel. Like, I remember so clearly, like, Cloud Kingdom, the Wailing Alps, the Temple of their Jitsu, the Tomb of the First Spinjitzu Master. There's so many different locations here that are so unique. Another amazing thing about this is we do not have to listen to Lloyd's voice. Don't get me wrong, I like Lloyd. Once Sun's Garmadon hits, Lloyd becomes a much better character in my opinion. You didn't really have to deal with Lloyd, and you got the 4 core ninja hanging out. Their banter together is so much fun. They make such a good team. And then Nia gets her elemental power. This season has so much to offer. Final Battle Part 1 and Part 2 are awesome. Anyways, moving on to my top 3. In the 3rd spot, we have Cbound. It has one of the best final battles ever. You have Ninjago City flooded, and they did it so well. You've got submarines going through the streets. Another thing I love about this season is it has probably my favorite villain from Ninjago, which is Prince Kalmar. I think he's a hilarious, evil, despicable villain. It feels like Pythor, but I like him a little better than Pythor. Nia has some great character development. The first 2 episodes really drag. Once they go underwater, it gets really fun. They go up above the water, it gets a little less fun. Final battle hits in, you've got like full speed ahead. This is awesome. This is like one of the best seasons ever. And then Nia sacrifices her life. She like turns into water to save Jay. And then she saves Ninjago City. In the second spot, we have Sons of Garmadon, and this is arguably the best season of Ninjago. It has the best script, one of the best storylines, super amazing animation, maniacal evil villains. Each ninja has a time to shine. Some of the fight sequences are amazing. Like the fight sequence with Mr. E and Zane is so cool, so awesome. I love that. And the finale for this is so memorable because Destiny's Bounty gets crushed. You think all hope is lost. The one thing holding this back, I think, is because it's a part 1, sort of. If this was all you watched and you never got any more Ninjago, it definitely wouldn't be my favorite season. But since you got more and it connected to it, it becomes a really, really amazing season. Now, in number 1 spot is Rebooted. And is this technically the best season? Definitely not. It's not. It's not the best Ninjago season. It's my favorite Ninjago season. My personal favorite Ninjago season. But this was the first Ninjago season I watched all the way through. Zane is my favorite ninja. The final battle here is my favorite episode from Ninjago. Zane sacrifices his life for his friends and for Ninjago City. The Ninjoids are awesome. The first episode is one of my favorite intro episodes to a season where they go to Borg Tower. There's so many fun episodes into the Digiverse. Project Arcturus. It's my favorite season. But thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm also going to be taking a dive into other themes of LEGO. What they did great, what they did bad, what we can learn from them. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I've got some great things in store for this channel.